Good news, everybody. My name's Kyle Verge, and I'm back with the Appalachian Center for Economic Networks. And today we're talking about Google Business Basics, or services more specifically, how to add your services to your Google listing. This is going to be a pretty simple process, but we're going to walk through it together and get everything set up. So just a little recap before we get started. If you haven't seen my original videos, earlier videos, you don't know that I have set up a fake business called Meow Meow Business. What we've done is we've registered it with Google and we started filling out some of the information. So in an earlier video we went through the info tab. That is where you can put your hours in, that's where you can put your amenities in, that's where you can tell your customers if you take credit cards and what those precisely might be. We also went through the photos section. That's where you can add your logo, you can add interior, exterior shots if you have a brick and mortar building. You can provide photos in general. If you're a business that provides products, we've gone over how to add your products to your Google listing. We've talked about the importance of pictures there and talking about what those products can do for your customer. And then today we're going to talk about services. So we'll get to that in just 1 minute. If you have any questions about any of this, you can email me. My email address is kylev@acenetworks.org. If you have any questions about registering, the info tab, the photos tab, and the products tab, you can email me. Or any questions about anything in general associated with Google, you can go ahead and email me. I'll be happy to get back to you. So again, today we're starting with the Services tab. So if you log into your Google Business site, you should start at home, and all we're doing is we're coming down to the Services tab found here. Now, in an earlier video, I showed you how you could create a custom category about your business, and we've done that here. I've also shown you how you can add another business category to it, and so I decided that Meow Meow Business was going to provide some consulting services. So we can see that those show up here. However, what we're not seeing is any sort of description of what that consultant is. So if we want to fill that out a little more so our customers know exactly what we consult on or about, we click this little arrow right here. Initially I was a little confused clicking all over the place trying to figure out how to edit that, but it's just this little arrow here. So if you go ahead and click that, we can see what exactly you can do. So if you've clicked new business category, you should see something like this. This is where you can either add a consulting, or you could add auto repair, you could add photography, you could add pretty much anything you wanted. However, I've been using the custom creation for business categories because that allows me to be a little more specific about what I'm doing with this business. You don't have to use the custom ones. You can, of course, edit the ones that Google offers. So it's really just up to you. Alright, the editing process. This is pretty easy. So I went ahead and clicked on Consultant, the little arrow here that I was talking about before. I can see that I can define my service, as a consultant. I can put my price range in. I think you can do free, you can do fixed, and I think you can do a range as well. And then the most important thing that you'll need is a service description. So because Meow Meow Business is a fake business, what I'm doing here is I'm just imagining what sort of thing a person might do if they were actually offering a service. So I write, does your cat hate fun? Does your cat give you hangry eyes near feeding time? Are you tired of all the Meow Meow business? If so, we provide a consulting service. So what I'm doing here is, it kind of sounds like an infomercial, and it's because we're talking about the difference between a problem and a solution. Much of what business does is it identifies problems, and then you define the solution that you're offering. So sometimes your customer might not even know they have a problem, but it's your chance to sort of define what their problem might be and how you can solve it. So that's really important for services, and you'll want to think about your service description in that manner. Oh, I say don't click anywhere else. This is like the picture editing window. If you want to go and search for something on the internet while you're doing this and you click off of this box, Google will just erase it. So you want to click Save if you've done any significant editing, just to make sure that you don't lose all your hard work. Alright, checking our work. So we filled out that consultant tab. You can see that my description I put in here now appears, and I can see that my other one is still there. So I could keep adding different services if I wanted to. However, I thought, well, let's make sure this is working right. Let's look at our business on Google and see what our services actually look like. So I went ahead and Googled my name, my business name, Meow Meow Business, and I see that it comes up. It's got my hours, everything else, and it's got my products like I showed you last time. And what it doesn't have is my services. It's very strange, right? We just put that information in, and now it seems as if Google is not providing that to us. Well, there is a solution to this. It's very strange and kind of inexplicable, but I'm going to show you what you do to check on your services. You grab your mobile phone. So you must use a mobile phone to actually look at the services that a business might offer. I have no idea why this is true, but what I did is I took some screenshots from my own phone, and you can see that services are in fact listed here. So services, custom cat toy creation, and consultant. So I want to see what Google's actually doing there, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this button here on my phone, and it's going to take me to this tab. So you can see that I can scroll through products, services, photo, about, general things like that, and we see that custom cat toy creation comes up and consultant. I don't really like how consultant and consultant appears like this. We're going to have to do a little more investigating here, so I'm going to go ahead and click more and find out what happens. So here again we see this doubling, and that doesn't look great. If a customer were to come and look at that, they'd be like, well, why is one appearing here? Maybe this would cause them to click this thing. It's essentially just a little confusing. So what we want to do is go back to our services pane, or page, excuse me, and we're going to edit that a little bit. Oops, excuse me. So when you edit a category that appears under a business category, what you're actually doing is editing a subcategory. So when I initially had consultant right here, what it was doing is it was saying, okay, you're in the category of consultant, and then your subcategory is also consultant. So what I needed to do is be a little more specific about what service I was providing. So I'm providing cat advice. If you're doing massage therapy, if you're doing anything else, you want to be specific about your consulting and services, so that people know what specific things that you offer, and it often looks a little bit better, when they understand that consulting can happen about cats, and it could also happen maybe about cat toys. But you'll see how this works in a minute. So you can see here now that I've edited this category. So now instead of consultant, it says cat advice, and so I now am indicating to my customers that not only am I a consultant, but I'm a consultant specifically on cat advice. And you could add other ones here. So add another service. So if you're providing consultant services on more than one thing, you could indicate that here by adding another service. Again, different than a business category. A business category is, of course, these big ones here, and then the services appear under those categories. So it's important to find what we want as the categories, and then again the subcategories here. So you can see that I added dog advice, and I say that that's free, and I say dogs are good boys and need no consulting. Of course, a little tongue-in-cheek, but the idea is that I can indicate that I offer two different services here, so you'll want to investigate doing that for yourself as well. And finally, we have a picture of our beautiful subject, who is often engaged in much meow meow business. You can see this is a very derpy face. Maybe won't add that to my web page, but I thought you might enjoy it. So that's it. That's how you do services. The most important thing to remember is that you'll have to check it on your mobile phone. For whatever reason, Google doesn't allow you to do it on a computer. But yeah, that's it. If you have questions about this, you can email me. It says info@acenetworks.org. That goes directly to my email address, or you can email it to kylv@acenetworks.org. You can give me a call. You can find me on Facebook or, of course, the web. So, all right. I hope you learned something. I hope you get your services set up. And thanks for watching.